Hello dear students, how are you all? Hope all of you are fine. Welcome to the chemistry virtual class. Today I want to discuss about the characteristics of ionic and covalent compounds. At first, I am going to discuss about melting point and boiling point. Melting point and boiling point is high in case of ionic compound. But in case of covalent compounds, melting point and boiling point is low. Why? What's the reason? Reason is that ionic compounds can exist as a crystal. They exist in crystalline form. Positive ion, negative ion, positive ion, negative ion, like this way. Cation, anion, like this way. As a result of this, electrostatic attraction force is created over there, and intermolecular attraction force is very high, so that a high amount of energy is needed to break down ionic compounds, ionic bonds, and to convert them, to break down the ionic bonds. For this reason, the melting point and boiling point both are high in case of ionic compounds. But in case of covalent compounds, there is no ion. In case of covalent compounds, there is no ion. And in between two covalent bonds, in between, suppose ammonia is a covalent compound. Hydrogen sulfide is a covalent compound. In this case, there is no positive or negatively charged ions. And in between of two covalent molecules, there is weak van der Waals attraction force. So, for conversion of covalent compounds into liquid or gas, we have to overcome the van der Waals attraction force, so that very less amount of energy is needed. That's why melting point and boiling point both are low in case of covalent compounds, but in case of ionic compound, these are high. Clear? Dear learners, now come to the second property of ionic and covalent compounds. Solubility in water. Ionic compounds are soluble in water, but covalent compounds are not soluble in water. What's the reason? See, you know that ionic compounds can exist in a lattice, in three-dimensional lattice. In case of ionic compound, cation, anion are existing in this way. And whenever it is dissolved in water, you know water is a polar compound. Do you know what is polar compound? Such type of covalent compound where there is a difference of electronegativity in between the atoms of the covalent molecule. As a result of this, one atom is becoming partially positive and another atom is becoming partially negative. Such type of compound is called polar compound. As a result of this, two opposite pole has been created. Negative pole, positive pole, negative pole, positive pole. In case of water, oxygen is high electronegative element, so that oxygen always attracting the bond pair electrons to itself. From this tendency, oxygen is becoming partially negative and hydrogen is becoming partially positive. As a result of this, two opposite pole has been created. That's why water is a polar compound. Now you can ask me that, Miss, can you say the name of a non-polar compound? Yes, non-polar compound. Suppose carbon tetrachloride. Carbon tetrachloride is also a covalent compound. It's not polar compound, because there is no difference in electronegativity in case of carbon and chlorine. So, despite being covalent compound, carbon tetrachloride is not polar compound. All the covalent compounds are not polar compound. Polarity only created whenever there is a difference in electronegativity. Is this clear to you? So, carbon tetrachloride is a non-polar compound. Benzene, kerosene, these are the example of non-polar compound. So, whenever sodium chloride is an ionic compound, whenever sodium chloride is dissolved in water, you see that time cation is surrounded by the negative pole of water. Negative pole of water is oxygen. From all the side. So, a cation is surrounded by the negative pole of water, and anion has been surrounded by the positive pole of water. Which one is the positive pole of water? Hydrogen is the positive pole of water. In case of sodium, in case of cation, negative pole of water has come towards the cation, and in case of anion, positive pole of water has come towards the anion. So, cation is surrounded by the negative pole of water, and anion is surrounded by the positive pole of water. As a result of this is coming in solvated medium from lattice medium, for which solution is created, and this process is called hydration of sodium chloride. For this reason, ionic compounds are soluble in water, but on the other hand, covalent compounds are not soluble in water. Why? Because in case of covalent compound, there is no oppositely charged ions. There is no oppositely charged ions. That's why they are not soluble in water. Like as ionic compound, cation and anion can be surrounded by the positive and negative pole of water. That's why covalent compounds are not soluble in water. But there are some of the covalent compounds which are soluble in water. Do you know? Suppose hydrogen chloride or hydrochloric acid, ammonia, this type of covalent compounds are soluble in water. Why? Because in case of this type of compound, suppose hydrogen fluoride, in case of hydrogen fluoride, there is a difference of electronegativity in between hydrogen and fluorine. Hydrogen is partially positive, fluorine is partially negative. Fluorine is electronegative element. As a result of this, there is a difference of electronegativity between hydrogen and fluorine. For this reason, they are soluble in water. Why? Why they are soluble in water? Because for the difference of electronegativity, covalent compounds are gaining ionic character and they are becoming soluble in water. That means the covalent compounds which has ionic character can be soluble in water. See, in case of hydrochloric acid also, hydrogen is partially positive, this one is partially negative. That's why hydrochloric acid is soluble in water. By the same way, ammonia is also soluble in water. So, dear students, is this clear to you? Dear learners, now come to the third property of ionic and covalent compounds. Conductivity of ionic and covalent compounds in aqueous solution. Ionic compounds can conduct electricity in aqueous solution, but covalent compounds can't conduct. Why? Reason is that you know that for donating and receiving electrons, ions are converted into positive and negatively charged, atoms are converted into positive and negatively charged ions. For donating and receiving electrons, atoms are converted into positive and negatively charged ions. Whenever they are combining with each other, an electrostatic attraction force is created over there. This electrostatic attraction force is called ionic bond. whenever ionic compounds are soluble in water, are dissolved in water, that time they can produce sodium ion and chloride ion. That means, in aqueous solution, ionic compounds can be converted into sodium ion and chloride ion. That means, they can produce random ion. They can produce random ion, and they are always on movement. These ions are always on movement. They are moving freely in the aqueous solution, and for this free movement of the ions, they can conduct electricity. So, what I told, for the free movement of the oppositely charged ions, ionic compounds can conduct electricity, but in case of covalent compound, you know that covalent compound, suppose ammonia, methane, they can be formed by the sharing of electrons. In case of ammonia, nitrogen is sharing 3 unpaired electrons and hydrogen with 3 hydrogen atoms. As a result of this, ammonia is formed. In case of methane, carbon is sharing 4 unpaired electrons with 4 hydrogen atoms. As a result of this, methane molecule, like this way, methane molecule can be formed. As covalent compounds are created, are formed by the sharing of electrons, that is why no ions are present in the aqueous solution and no free movement of the ions. As there is no free movement of the ions in case of covalent compounds, so that they can't conduct electricity, whereas ionic compounds can conduct electricity. Is this clear to you? Okay, so today I have discussed 3 properties of ionic and covalent compounds. Number 1, melting point and boiling point. Number 2, solubility in water, and number 3, conductivity of electricity in aqueous solution. Still, if you face any problem, you can talk to your subject teacher. So, see you at the next class. Thank you.